going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Crane Kicks Lex podcast. It's been some weeks. We were all on separate odysseys, getting trapped on islands, people getting transformed into animals, mythical creatures, all this stuff. But we're back. We made it. It might feel like it's been 20 years, but we did the thing. And we're here. We got a lot to talk about. We've got some kit information. We've got some changes to the league. Of course, there's all the goings on with players coming and going, recent results for the men, the upcoming season for the women, and it's just on and on and on. I'm ready to get rolling. But first, how we doing? Jess, what's up with you? Weren't you just on like a little mini vacation out of town?
Yeah, we went to Holiday World.
Hey, okay, that's vacation-esque. It's been forever since I've been.
It's so fun.
Yeah, it's been ages. But I remember it being really awesome. Like, don't they have like a water park there, a little section?
Yep.
Yeah.
Theme park and a water park, and so
Wait,
yeah,
do they have a wave pool? Is that
yeah.
right? Okay, yeah. I thought that was them because I remember like when you got kind of close, it was pretty intense, and like that was back. I don't know, my 20s maybe last time I was there, and I was like pretty good shape, but I got a little too close, and I'm like, I don't think I'm making it out of this.
Yeah,
this thing's too much.
The kids really wanted to go to it, and I wasn't expecting even like they were closer to the edge, but they were still going pretty big, even where the kids were, and I was like,
Yeah.
Please
save my babies.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a good time. Dylan, you good? Didn't you go see a bunch of movies recently? Didn't you get to actually see the Odyssey and Spider-Man?
Yeah.
And Spider-Man?
It's been a crazy last couple weeks in the household. But I've been able to see the Odyssey and went to see Spider-Man. That was yesterday, Sunday. And both were really awesome, really epic. I recommend seeing both in theaters. The Odyssey especially, you just gotta see it in theaters. I didn't even see it in IMAX, just saw it in normal theater. And there are definitely times where I was like, I'm probably missing out on some stuff in this frame, but I still
cut it.
Yeah, but I still you still would get use your imagination and
the effect is there.
Yeah, you're still seeing a fantastic film made by one of the best filmmakers of all time. So it's just like a fantastic movie experience. And then to have Spider-Man right off that, I mean, movies are back. I'm ready to go see another one. I don't even know what's next, but I'm ready. But that's in December. That's far out.
A bit.
Yeah.
I had my wife watch the old 1996 or 97 Odyssey. I just remember as a kid, they showed it in two halves, on regular network television because I didn't have cable or anything. And now I'm looking back, I'm like, why did my mom let me watch that? Look at the part where the Cyclops eats the guy, and I'm like, that was kind of intense. Or the part where he's trapped on the island with Cersei and stuff. I'm like, whoa, I don't know if I should be watching this stuff, but it brought up some memories. Like, man, this is pretty good. It held up for being, oh my gosh, what is it now? A million years old, 30. Ugh. Yeah, but it's I'm excited to see the new one.
The way they depict the Trojan horse scene is I keep thinking about it, and there's a detail that I don't know if other people notice it. I haven't heard people talking about a detail that there's just so many things about it. You just gotta see it. Go see it, please.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm excited. I'm ready to see it. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan too.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to see that as well. There's definitely two on my list that I need to check out. Well, speaking of sneaking into cities and then busting out with new information, I don't know, that was a bad segue. I tried, but hey, before we talk about all of this stuff going on with our team specifically, I don't know how many people peeped the news that came out from the USL. I don't know, it was weird. I feel like USL put the news out there, but I didn't hear like as much chatter about it as I thought I would. So they're changing, not really changing the rules, but they're trying something a little different.
Mm.
So people have talked about the implementation of VAR and VAR and all the other different leagues, seeing the viability of that, which of course super expensive to do. Not every league can necessarily afford to have VAR. But apparently USL is trying something kind of as a little bit of a pilot program. So instead of VAR, um, now they're going to try out something kind of akin to it. So football video support, FVS,
Hmm.
which is going to be kind of like an option when you can't really afford VAR. It seems. I don't know. There's not really much of a better
Just
way to put it than that.
a lot less cameras.
Yes, and a lot less technology involved. It's just more, I don't know, like a true video assistant where it's just like you go back and look at the video itself as
Yeah,
opposed
Mm.
to like
it's probably
all
going to
the
be more
extra
like
sensors.
NFL, like instant replay kind of.
Right. It feels like when we are wondering about a call and we go back and we like rewatch the Peacock or
Mm-hmm.
ESPN stream and pause it and run it in slow motion. That's what it sounds like it's going to be. I'm kind of interested in it. So basically they're going to be allowing for refs to go back and check the footage for questionable situations. So like in case of a goal or no goal that they're not 100% certain on, penalty, no penalty call, direct red cards, mistaken identity where a referee cautions or sends off the wrong player, which it seems like that doesn't happen, but I've seen it happen a couple of times. And then like the ref is just like, it was absolutely that guy. And everybody's like, that it wasn't that guy. And they're like, nope, I saw it. They're wearing the same jersey as you. No, so I think that looking at those as kind of like a focus area and then not being all encompassing for every single foul, every single offside, every single little grain of sand is a good starting point because those ones I feel like are pretty easy to get right when you go back and actually review the video. And you don't have to have so much of like that, fine tuned. Here's the imaginary VAR line where somebody is offside by a toe or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they're starting out in a reasonable way to try and kick this off. And once more, I think it's kind of cool because I think I've got my numbers right here, but I think teams actually can request for these video reviews twice in a match. So they get two per match where they can be like, hey, ref, I need you to
Mm.
scope this out because I don't really agree with what just happened here. Which, I mean, I'm kind of excited about because it's akin to like the challenge flag in the NFL, right? You throw your challenge flag, hopefully it gets overturned and you get your situation resolved in your favor. But it does have to apply for those four instances that I already laid out. What are you guys' thoughts on this as a whole? Because we're going to see this in like these last few matches for the Prinix Cup. That's where they're piloting this is in the Prinix Cup's final few matches. How do you guys feel about this possibly becoming like a wider reaching thing across the league and not just this one time?
I think it's a good idea. We'll just see how well it does in implementation and execution.
Mm-hmm.
But I, you know, I think I think it's okay. I think it would be good for us. I mean, I feel like we get screwed, for lack of a better
Oh
term,
man. Yeah.
um, a lot of the time
Yep.
on so many things. So I think it would be good. You know, annoying people are going to be like, "Oh, it's going to slow down the game." Whatever. It's like, whatever. Just
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's a game. Have fun. Like, I don't know. Don't be such a boring person. You know.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like it allows for more accountability, and
Mhm.
people are gonna get away with less and stuff like that. And I don't know. I think it
Yeah.
could expose the refs too for all
Making
the
bad calls.
silliness that they
Mhm.
do. So I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm all in favor of it, and I think it's probably a good way to start by just doing it in the cup. It's kind of like a shame that we don't get to be a part of it. Like that was
Yeah.
my first thought, was like, oh darn, we missed out,
Yeah.
But overall, thumbs up.
Yeah.
And before like we go further, I want to clarify too, because I don't think I pointed this out, that only goals will be double checked automatically. Everything
Mm.
else that falls into one of those other categories, it has to be initiated by one of the coaches for their 2 possible checks. So it's not
That's
like
fair.
everything will be constantly checked. The goals will. The 4th official is going to watch back and be like, "Oh yeah, that was a goal," or "No, it wasn't," or whatever. So I
That's
just
fair.
wanted to clarify. Jess,
Yeah.
what were you going to say?
That's like NFL, kind of like the touchdown is always reviewed. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it can be beneficial. I mean, I know, especially with the World Cup, there were definitely some complaints about just how often how often VAR was used, and how the just tiniest margin of like error, how that affected things. But like we're all saying, it's not necessarily going to be applied in that same way. So I think as long as it's done well, and I think it is a good opportunity, because there are coaches that'll be like, hey, if they have 2 opportunities, one, it's not like it's unlimited, so you're not going to slow it down that much for every tiny thing. And 2, the coaches, they will have to kind of think about what they feel is important to the game, in as far as what they want evaluated. So yeah, no complaints.
I will
Yeah.
say, on the World Cup comparison, it's hard to say, because FIFA is very corrupt, and we've seen that, especially over the World Cup, and what they chose to call and not call. So it's hard to say, comparing it to the World Cup.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And once again, I do like that they're choosing like true game-changing decisions as like their focus, as opposed to being like any foul you can challenge, or you know what I mean? Like, I really like that. It's like, okay, is it a goal or is it not? Is it a red card or is it not? Is it a penalty or is it not? I think that those are big ticket items that really deserve that type of attention, or the possibility for somebody to say, hold on a second, like, I don't know about that one. Like, can you check that for me? And I think that'll also help coaches have an easier time of making that type of decision, like Jess was talking about, because you don't want to just like randomly spam like those calls and be like, hey, check that real fast. Like, if it's just those high ticket items, those don't happen that often in a game anyway, at least not to the point where you're going to argue it. So I think that's going to help really streamline the process. I think it's good. I think it's a good compromise. As a league, VAR is just, it seems too expensive, right? It's just, I haven't heard anybody say that, every team's chomping at the bit to get VAR, especially because it's not cost effective, right? But this, I think, will help us. And, I hate to be this way, right? But everybody on every team, every fan base has complaints about the refereeing that we experience in the USL. And I think that this will help a little bit. And I just hope that, our refereeing crews use it to fidelity and are very much like, yep, you know what, I did mess up. That wasn't a straight red, or you know what I mean? And it actually gets used appropriately. And I think it could be a really good thing. And then I think we'll see a lot more people feeling better about certain decisions, whether it's for or against you, right? Because, at the end of the day, if you're like, I'm actually a fan of the team that call went in favor for, but they go back and check it and it's pretty clear. You know what I mean? You have those ones where you look at it and you're like, okay, yeah. That was incorrect for sure. You got to respect that at least and be like, yeah, all right, that's fine. So I think this does a good job of letting the refs still do their job, but having the space to step back and be like, yep, I made a mistake, and just kind of go on about their day. So I'm for it. I think it'll be good. I hope it works out. And I hope it's something that they see can assist and all the gripes that, every fan base has about the refereeing at this level. Time will tell. We'll see pretty shortly whenever these matches start kicking off. So I don't know. I think it's a good one though.
I
So
hope they,
overall, yay.
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
I hope they get better cameras for this.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh man. Especially gosh, but
like
some of
the
it.
baseball field
Oh yeah.
and trying to get like footage through the net.
Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Oklahoma. That whole setup was tripping me out. I like felt like I was looking at a really wonky trapezoid instead of a regular rectangle, and then you see the lines going across from like the wires that hold up the netting, and yeah, it was anyway. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what goes down with this. I think it's a solid move to at least experiment and then go from there. Maybe make some fine tunes. I don't really see it going away. Honestly, I see that they would implement it and then fine tune things here and there, and then we kind of go and experience it league wide next season, or maybe I don't know, the season after. Who knows? But if they're going through all this trouble, I think it's going to be something that sticks around as long as they can make it valid and something that is enhancing the game. So time will tell. All right, let's talk about departures and acquisitions. 2 departures, right? Since we last got together. Adetikin on loan out at Hartford. Latif Blessing gone into the wind. Now, I don't know about you guys. The Latif one doesn't really surprise me that much. Like Latif, we had that huge hype video for him. We're like, we got Latif Blessing. And then he was like, actually, I'm probably going to play 5 minutes every month or so. And you won't really remember what happens. And I'm not saying that's on him necessarily. It could have just been the situation, trying to stay healthy, how he's utilized. There's all kinds of factors into it, but clearly it wasn't working out. Adetikin, kind of, little bit surprised, but not. Yeah, it's a bummer. Part of me surprised, part of me isn't. It's like he was this workhorse for us last season and kind of at the beginning of the season, and then it's like he lost his mojo a bit and then just kind of fell out of rotation and then never seemed to really find his way back in permanently, right? So I hate that we're losing him, but I'm happy for him that he might potentially be seeing more minutes somewhere. And the fact that it's a loan, maybe he comes back to us whenever he regains his form, kind of like a Bradilio Rodriguez situation, right? Maybe it's one of those, if you're a hopeful person, granted our track record with bringing back our loans is not usually in favor of them coming back, but could be surprised. I don't know. Overall, do we feel like this is really going to put a huge impact on the team or just kind of like meh?
I don't know how much of an impact it's going to make, really. I mean, we weren't really seeing Blessing at all.
Yeah.
And then Michael, we were seeing a little bit, definitely more than Blessing, but, maybe not enough. And maybe that's why he hasn't found his form. But he definitely hasn't found his form when he was on the field. We weren't seeing what we saw last season with him. He kind of like lost that spark that he had. So maybe a change of scenery will be nice for him, and hopefully he gets some more minutes. And
especially with the Adetikin this season so far. What we did see of him wasn't like exactly like Dylan said. It wasn't what we saw last season. So it was kind of anytime he was on the field, it was like, don't really know what to expect. Like, will we get a lot out of him? Will he make some good plays, or will he just lose the ball, lose possession, and yeah, so it was it definitely hit or miss.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's a little bit frustrating piece of business if you look at the business side of things, like the way we got him, and then he played really well, so we bought him, after his loan, and now that we bought him, he's not playing for us. It just feels like a bad piece of business.
And it's hard to where we've had coaching changes involved, and we saw how that went on the women's side, right, with Hannah Schartz, which we'll get to. It's just one of those things where so much changes. And I think, and this is just from an outsider's perspective, it was almost like the moment that Michael was pulled out of the mix, because he had like an injury there for a bit, right? And then it's once he got back into the mix, it was almost like he was trying so hard to prove that he could be the guy that he was getting in his own way. You know what I mean? It's almost like, when you want something so bad that you forget kind of who you are or how to be, and to just trust your natural self. And you're trying so hard that it's almost counterproductive. It kind of felt like that with him. And I'm really hopeful that Hartford uses him and lets him kind of reset back to baseline and just remember who he is and how he plays and what he can add to a team, and maybe take some of that pressure off of, like, I got to prove it. I've got to prove it. I've got to prove it. Because maybe that wasn't going through his head, but it just felt like the way he was playing during that spell, that was kind of the mantra maybe that was haunting him. I could be wrong. I just hope that he regains whatever was missing, and then we can find a place back for him here, because I do think he's a great player. I think he has an awesome skill set. I think he really truly does care. I think he really wants to win. But we gotta get him there, right? And maybe this was the best for everybody involved. Who knows? But I hope this isn't the last we've seen of him here with us, because I don't think his story's done. You know what I mean? I think he's somebody that can truly come back and do his thing. And if we're looking at the flip side of this, right, it seemed like if we were going to be moving 2 players on, we'd be bringing at least one. We ended up bringing 2 into the mix. So Malcolm Fry was the first of the 2. He came to us, or is coming to us, because we've not seen or heard from him yet. But Malcolm Fry has played for New England Revolution 2 and the first team in MLS. He's had I think 6 appearances for them. So he has been a homegrown player for them, somebody that's come up through their academy. I think he had 80 appearances for Revolution 2, 13 goals, 10 assists. So he is a forward that is young, but again, we've seen our team, our club, look around and say, okay, who's that young up and coming player that maybe just needs that little chance to kind of go and do their thing. So it kind of feels like maybe that's what we were doing here with him and that acquisition. So instead of how we tried to go get the superstar name with Latif Blessing and it didn't work out, now we're kind of going back to our other mode that we go into, where it's all right, what young talent is out there that could shine? So he's a forward that joined us. The other person that joined us, midfielder, we actually got to see just this past weekend. So Cello Tesantret, I had to practice that. Tesantret has joined us for our midfield, and he actually got minutes in this latest win that we had. So again, another homegrown academy player, but this time for Sporting Kansas City, has had several appearances for SKC2. So another young player we're putting into the mix. How are we feeling about this? How are we feeling about who we've brought in to replace who has left?
Jess, you want to go?
Sure. Yeah. I was trying when how do you say it? Cello?
Yeah, Cello.
When he came on, I was trying to pay more attention to him. It was a little harder just with the delay and stuff like that. Staying focused. And once they restarted, it was like Coach Mack mentioned, is if it go out there, it's 0-0 and you got 30 minutes, But anyway, so it was harder to notice him, or I was just distracted. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, obviously, we got the win. So, and
Yeah.
so I think he he seemed to play well enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I need more time. It'll
That.
be nice to see once Fry gets some minutes, if
Mm-hmm.
he's able to contribute to the team. So yeah.
I guess maybe let me spin it this way. So, Latif, big name in his own right, had a pretty solid MLS career. And then Michael Dedekin, again, a big name in his own right, Mac Herman Trophy winner, big time in his college days, did his thing. So those both felt like starter level players when we acquired them.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys, but the two guys we brought in, I don't know that I see them as starter level players yet, at least not for the championship. So would you all have rather seen us grab bigger names that are more like potential starter level players, or are we feeling good about the fact that we just went out there and we're like, young talent, they're going to get minutes off the bench. Let's kind of see where it goes. Let's see how they develop.
I mean, are Tariq and Malik, they're not necessarily huge names, and they've made, ignore my cat, and I feel like they've made a pretty good impact.
Yeah.
When they've been out there. So I think it's easy to, when you have a big name come out there and you expect a lot, and if you don't get what you're expecting, it's kind of disappointing.
True.
So when you have other players that maybe aren't as big names, they have a little bit more to prove. And I think they might be a little more hungry.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even if they don't get as many minutes, I mean, that they might perform well regardless, like depending on what Coach Mac's strategy is and what he sees in them and what they can bring to the team.
Yeah.
Has
potential.
potential.
Yeah, when you ask the question like that, Tyler, it's interesting. I don't really see them breaking the starting lineup. I think our starting lineup is honestly pretty solid at this point, or like at least pretty well ironed out. And I honestly feel like our subs are pretty good. Especially in the attacking phase. I like, Malik and Tariq. And I like our starting lineup, like I already mentioned. I think the positions that we got these guys, the positions that they fill, I don't think we need subs for those slots necessarily. Maybe some midfield depth, a little bit. But I really think more so on the defensive side we need help or subs, especially if Burks is out, because I think Burks is our best defender by far. Um, and then if he's hurt, there's Ordonez, who I think is more than capable. I honestly think he should be CB2 and not
Yeah.
CB3.
Agreed.
But I think when if anyone else gets hurt, we get put in a bad position. So if any, just to reiterate, if any position I would like more help with, it would be like on the defensive side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. And it's like so hard too, because we have like players that we don't see a lot of, like, Marcus Mura. Like, we don't really see much from him, but he's been in the 18 and doing his thing. But I agree. Defensive side always feels a little more shaky, I guess. As far as somebody goes down, what do we do versus with our offense. It's like somebody goes down. Okay, we got people that can do this. So yeah, that's fair. I I think it's fair to say we need to wait and see with them. I just really hope that we are pleasantly surprised and we're not just having them pass through as members of the bench or just members of the club that don't ever see the 18. I hope that we kind of see them develop and grow, and then maybe we're like, maybe we can purchase them. Maybe that's a young player that can stick around for a little bit and keep growing and become somebody with this club. So I think it'd be really cool if we see that work out with either of them, because we've not seen a lot of that with our club where we gamble on these younger players and then we manage to hang on to them long enough to see that growth really blossom. So interesting to see more from both, or really anything from Fry right now, right? Because he's MIA currently.
That's what I was gonna say. Was like the good thing is we saw Cello right away,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
really cool. And we hope to see more of him so we can
yep,
see what he has for us, right? But
I
the
agree.
fact that we haven't seen Fry yet is weird, and the fact that he wasn't even in the 18 the other night is even weirder. So
Yeah. Yeah, you never know. It could be paperwork stuff. It could be injury. I hope not. I seriously doubt the whole thing fell through because we wouldn't make an announcement if that was the case. But I guess you never know.
Mhm.
Weirder things have happened. But
he was
I
there
hope
too, allegedly at the game.
right,
Oh yeah.
right. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's a fitness thing. I don't know. But I mean, I'm confident we'll see him at some point if we bothered signing him. It seems silly to sign him and then him just never appear ever.
Well,
But that's
that's
happened
happened.
before. It's true.
Don't roll it
It's
out, Tyler.
I know it's happened, but it's okay, man. This isn't the boss era.
He
We'll
can't hurt
we'll
me
hopefully
anymore.
it can't hurt you anymore. The shadow man's not standing in the corner of your room anymore, siphoning all of the color out of the room.
Staring at you with his
Yeah,
eyes.
yes, his eyes. Yeah. Well, we'll see. And I think we'll have plenty of time to see what's up. We've got like 13 matches left. I think my math is right. My countability. So I think that they'll show up at some point. Let's kind of let's dig in a little bit to our recent stretch of games. We don't really have to necessarily hone in on one game. I think that we can kind of approach this holistically because we've had what 3-4 games recently, and kind of given us a good gauge of where we are as a team. Because I know, last time we recorded, there was the whole Lou City debacle, and we were just like, oh my gosh, what the heck? Like, why can't we escape this?
Mhm.
And we were feeling good about going after New Mexico. And man, we got obliterated. That sucked. That sucked. And I don't think anybody really thought that was going to happen. I thought everybody was going to be like, okay, we'll kind of get back into this and we'll be
Yeah.
fine. And so that was pretty disheartening to get destroyed like we did against New Mexico. But since then, it's been pretty solid. We've
Yeah.
had 3 games since getting obliterated, and all against Western Conference opponents, right? So
Mhm.
we've picked up points against them all, which you always got to be happy with that. So we've had a 2-0 win against Oakland, which a win against Oakland always makes me feel good because I don't know why, but like that last game last season, and it
Oh
wasn't even
gosh.
Oakland's fault. It wasn't even Oakland's fault. It was our fault that
The
it was just so
announcers were
abysmal.
made it worse too.
It's true. But now I'm always like, I just really want to beat them. And again, it
Yeah.
wasn't anything they were necessarily doing.
Mhm.
Honestly, it's because boss lost the locker room and then everything just kind of like crumbled.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got that 2-0 win against them, 0-0 against Tulsa, although it was hard to tell because of the camera angle. I thought I could make out players here and there. I don't know. Hey, but that was good. 3-2 against Monterey Bay. All these pretty impressive results. I don't know. I know that sometimes we have trouble seeing the good in things like a 0-0 draw, but a 0-0 against Tulsa, that's a good result. Like that's solid. And honestly, even more solid when you consider that there were a couple of times where we got bailed out in that game, where like, man, things started going kind of south. But then luckily somebody swooped in and saved the day and kept us solid.
Mhm.
I would have really liked to see us manage to get, goal against them, but
Right.
a team that's in the upper half of the Western Conference, 0-0, you take that point. It's away. It's not a bad point to have at all. And then this Monterey Bay game most recently, that was impressive in a different way. Now, should we have been able to bully Monterey Bay a little bit? I don't
Yeah.
know, bully, but definitely win. I feel like we should have had a more comfortable time beating them,
Yeah.
because they have 15 points. They're not doing so
Mhm.
hot. They've got 11 losses this season as of now. Before us, it was 10. So I kind of felt like, all right, we got this. We went down
Mhm.
2-0 though. But I got to give us credit to come back after being down 2-0, score 3 unanswered. That I like. I like that a lot.
Mhm.
I don't like that we drop down to a 2-0 deficit,
Yeah.
but then you have to think like, man, I really enjoy the mentality that took to make that a 3-2 game instead.
Mhm.
And so I got to appreciate that. So when we're
Yeah.
looking at like this form, and we can get into the nitty-gritty of any of these games or any of these things that happen, how are we feeling with 13 games left?
Right now, I feel pretty good. Um, on a scale of like 1 to 100, I'd say like 79. Right? I don't know.
As opposed to an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
That was, okay. Interesting. Interesting. My guy, he just likes the old grading scales,
I
the
was
ones
just
we grew
going.
up with.
What is that? Is 79 what? Is that like a
It's a
C
C.
plus?
It's a C
That's a
plus.
C. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
C plus.
See,
That's why
you're
Dylan knows it from heart.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Dylan.
I feel like we've been competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, not counting New Mexico or Louisville, I feel like
Mhm.
the games we've played, we've been competitive. Like I feel
Yeah.
like we've been when we're down 2-0, we've been able to rally and answer and come back.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, it makes it to where the games are a bit more nail biters because
Mhm.
they're not like. And I think a lot of the games we've had recently, we've been a bit more dominant in possession.
Mhm.
I feel like we're more in control of the game, and so I think that's nice. So it does make me more confident, but it
Mhm.
doesn't feel. But I don't feel like we go into each game thinking, "Oh yeah, we've got this in the bag."
Mhm.
But we have potential to continue winning like we have been. Yeah, I think the only concern I have is the West. The points are so close.
Yeah.
So I feel like every single point matters. Like, and
Truly.
not only that, like, not just points. Like, I don't want ties. That's why with Tulsa,
Mhm.
where it's like, oh, well, yeah, that didn't feel like a loss, though. That was a tie that felt like a win.
Mhm.
But I feel like we need all the points we can get if we're
Yeah.
gonna make it in the top 8. And
That's
like
fair.
stay.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, Monterey Bay is at the bottom of the West with 15 points, which with 13 matches left, still doable for them to make a climb. Or I guess they probably have
Mhm.
12 now because they've got 18 that they played. But then besides that, like 11 is 21 points. We're at 25 and number 7.
Yeah.
6 has 25 as well, right? The third place team, New Mexico, has 27. So we're
Yeah.
literally only 2 points out of third place. So that's how tight it is. You're 100% right. Like these points matter in a big way, especially coming up because when you look at our last 13 games, 12 are against Western Conference opponents. On top of
Thir-
that,
39 available points.
yeah, and most of our opponents are out of the West. Which I know it's like a no duh, Tyler. We're in the West, but all of our Eastern Conference matchups are done -1. And so we
Mhm.
really got to start like taking it to all these other teams in the West and saying, okay, we're going to build this momentum. And, I don't want us to burn out too quickly, right? Because the ultimate
Mhm.
goal is get into the playoffs healthy and compete and win the championship. So it's not that we have to be so utterly dominant that we're just like the only acceptable outcome is to win the Players' Shield and then win the whole thing. But I think that, we really need to be smart about how we approach these games. Jesse, you're 100% right. Like you start stumbling and other people don't stumble with you. Like they're
Right.
overtaking you pretty quick and it gets dicey. We've been in that situation so many times where we find ourselves at the end of the season and everybody's just right there with us. And it's a matter of who gets a win on that last game or who gets a
Yep.
loss or who gets a draw. And I don't want it to be that way for us. I want us to be in just good enough a position that we're like feeling good on those
Mhm.
last couple of games. But who knows if it's going to work out that way because it's so tight.
Well, I guess it is also worth pointing out that we've played 17 games and we're at 25 points. New
Yeah.
Mexico, they're only 2 points ahead of us, but they've only played 15 games.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that to take into account too. Like,
right.
So,
I mean, what 3 of the teams ahead of us have fewer games played.
mhm.
So yeah, 100%. And I mean, I guess the good thing for us is most of the teams below us have more games played.
Yeah, right.
Or at least, yeah, most of them, because it's only El Paso and Las Vegas that have 17 like we do that are lower than us on the table.
Mhm.
So, I guess, thinking about 8 through 12, you want them to keep faltering. You want them to keep messing up. And we see a lot of those teams in the coming weeks. So if we can get points to keep them down, keep them back,
right.
we have our poking stick and we're sitting on the ledge poking at them like, get out of here.
No.
Like, you can't get on the boat. Yeah. So if we could do our job with that and at least handle them and try and keep them at bay, but it's not only up to us, right? They have all these other results they have to get through, and they could start getting hot at any time. So, we
Mhm.
can't let off the gas, and we sure as heck can't have any more of these crazy defeats like the
Yes.
back-to-back with Lou City and New Mexico.
Yeah.
Because my biggest fear with those is that at some point we stop finding the fight because we're like, dang, we just got beat like 4 whatever again, and
Mhm.
I just don't want that to happen. And I think the Monterey Bay game was interesting to me because I feel like that is the match where we saw the most fire out of the team.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
None of us were able to make it. Unfortunately, I wish I could have been there. Like, despite the delay, we've sat through many delays. Like, I can remember way back in the day, like I know a lot of the Railbirds remember this too, the OG Railbirds. There was like a storm that lasted like 2 hours or something, and we stayed and
It was
watched
like
the
till
last
1 in the
bit.
morning almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
We weren't there because the kids,
Yeah.
but I remember that.
Yeah, those are the Georgetown days.
Mhm.
So it was really, really cool though, because you saw it on the feed. I know the club shared it, the Railbirds have shared it, but like whatever Tariq scored that game-winning
Yes.
goal,
It
and
was so
all of them
awesome.
ran over to the Railbirds and were like celebrating with them, and then afterwards celebrating with them. That was really cool. Like that
Mhm.
was dope. That's the most fired up I feel like I've seen the team, and I think it's I don't know, in some ways a good thing that we had this type of game where it felt like a loss and we clawed all the way back. I think it showed them that they have that inside them and that going forward, maybe they don't have to be in that situation. I think maybe they discovered like we don't have to be down 2-0. We can just do this. Like we can be that team that's on the front foot and take these teams out. And I think maybe they've had a little bit of a team-wide self-discovery moment there. At least that's what the vibe said.
Yeah, I think it's really important what happened. To win in different ways is really important. If you look down at the stretch of games that we're talking about, with Oakland, it's a nice 2-0 win. I think that was great because, made some adjustments at halftime then we pretty much locked down the game in the second half. And then Tulsa, good draw, a point away from a good opponent. And then Monterey, like we're saying, you got to win in different ways. You overcame something, you overcame a deficit, you overcame the weather delay. They probably thought of it as like a brand new game, basically. Like, hey, this is a brand new game. Let's just go out and win it, and that's really important. And I think the New Mexico loss was like maybe needed in that way to bring us to this point, to get us to this stretch of 2 wins and a draw, right?
I can see that.
Because they probably had like a heart to heart, like, hey, we can't let this happen ever again, and especially at home, we can't lose like that. We let in 4 goals. That was terrible. And like I said, it's important to win in different ways, and it feels like the way they won lifted the spirit. There's more of like a collective unit. It feels like there's good energy going forward into the next game and forward into the rest of the season.
And I think you're right about the New Mexico thing, because I think sometimes, and this may not be how it went down, but I think sometimes even as like a fan base, maybe as an example, it's like you lose against Lou City and it's like, oh, of course we lost against Lou City, whatever.
Yeah.
Back to the real games, you know what I mean? And it's possible maybe the team had that kind of mindset too. Maybe it was like, it was Lou City. Yeah, we lose against them. But like, let's get back to this. But then I think, there's a possibility that the New Mexico situation was like, oh, it's not just Lou City. We can't let this be a trend. Like, let's make this roll. So I think, I just really enjoyed the fight and the heart that the team showed, because I don't think that this team has had any lack of fight or lack of heart. I think there have been a lot of results that didn't gel, and like things just didn't play out like they should have. And maybe there was some disconnect here and there. But overall, with this particular group, I don't really get the sense that we're completely infested with players that don't care. I think that they all very much do. I just think that this was a good moment for the fans to see, like, oh, they care. Like this does mean something. And I hope that we could see more of that at our home matches, the few that we have left, because I think we only have 6 at this moment. So like if we could see that same fire and that same energy, I think that'd be really cool. Because I mean, even whenever we won against Oakland, that 2-0 match, I remember, after the match, like it was kind of anemic in the stadium, despite it being a good win, even from the team. When they came over to like acknowledge the Railbirds and stuff, like the fan base and the players, it was almost kind of like, I don't know, maybe it was just relief. Maybe there was too much relief, like, oh, we won, for them to be like, yeah, we won. Because I remember at one point, like looking and yelling at everybody, I was like, they just won. Start cheering. They just won. They just earned us 3 points. And everybody's like, so I just want to see more of this vibe after these good results. You know what I mean? Like, keep this going. Keep interacting with the fans. Keep like coming up there, high-fiving, seeing Goodrum walk over there, grab a beer from the Railbirds, smash it, celebrate. Like, I think that stuff is cool. And I think that's what really makes teams and players endearing to fans. And we've said this a million times over the years. Like, if you can make yourself a real person to the fan base, that goes a long way in the tough times. If you come off as like some cardboard cutout player that we just see a graphic of every once in a while, and then we watch you play on the field and that's all we see from you, it's harder to like get that feeling of like, that's my player, that's my team. So I think this is going to be important, not just for the team, but for the fan base too, if we kind of keep this same mentality intact as we move forward with this. It's going to be tough. 6 out of these 13 games at home, the other 7 are away. 6, 7, you do the math. Sorry. Oh, man. Sorry, it's too close to school starting back up. The brain worms. Yeah. They've got me now.
Like triggered.
Yes. Yes. I wonder how many people were just like, I'm turning this off right now.
Winter Soldier activated.
Yeah, for real. But I mean, like in all seriousness, I want these 6 games to count in that type of way. You know what I mean? With the vibes. With the
Yeah.
vibes, the wins, all of that stuff just cooking. Because I think that's what so many people really appreciated about the women's team, right? They like the personability, the vibes
Mhm.
were just kind of
Mhm.
always good and on point after wins. And sometimes with our men's team, despite how much they care, the vibes have been kind of low. They just come by and they're just like, here's a gentle high five. I'm gonna move on now. And they're like, and this
Mhm.
time it was like, we're jumping up into the stands and high fiving, smashing beers and everything. But anyway, I digress. I think we're in good shape moving forward. I think that these last 3 games, especially, have proved that okay, we could do this. Like we're not out of the fight by any means necessary. Like we got this. So right now, if you guys had to make the call, we making the playoffs?
I think with recent form, yeah.
With this too early to call situation based on what we're seeing.
I just think the people below us are definitely not as good as us.
I'd agree with that.
I think we'll make the playoffs this year.
I think it's going to be the first year that we make the playoffs. You're the horse, baby.
Yeah.
You're the horse. Nay, nay.
But
I
would
said
say
you're the horse. And I was like,
I'm
what?
the horse.
No,
We are the horse, Dylan.
You were saying that.
We are all the
us.
horse.
I
We're
would
all
say
part of
though
the great horse.
the Phoenix game is not, even though they have 22 points currently, and I think we went into Monterey. I know I went into Monterey Bay overconfident and
Yeah.
did not expect us to have to claw back for the win. Phoenix, they also played Monterey Bay recently and won 3-2, and then drew 0-0 against Hartford, and then one draw against Las Vegas. So, I mean, I don't think it's a given.
True. Yeah.
I think so. We just got to keep our foot on the gas.
As long as we don't have any more New Mexico games.
Yes.
Then I think we'll be good.
Got to treat it like nothing's owed. That's all we got to do. Just understand nothing is owed us, and we just gotta do our thing.
And I hope this week they are doing a little bit more work defensively, because like you touched on, Dylan, I feel like we can strengthen the defense a little bit more, because the 2 goals that Monterey Bay did get, we should have been able, like,
lame.
They were terrible. Like, we could have done way better. And I think for the second one, I thought it was Brown that was supposed to be marking that guy, but looking back at the replay, I think it was Green that kind of let him
backed off,
be open. Yeah.
Wasn't glued to him as much as he could have been, because Brown was following another attacker off to the side, and Green tucked it, and then it was just too much space there. But
both of Monterey Bay's goals were like, they were the same. It was on the left-hand side, outside of the box, crossed it in, and the guy was right there.
Yeah. We struggle a lot with those like crosses like that, but I don't know. I think we can be okay. There's a world where we make it work and shore up things defensively. It's just, again, it's not necessarily our strongest area. I'll give us credit. We're doing pretty solid. Like out of the West, we're tied for the 3rd best goal differential, which is solid. And we're one of not a few, I guess quite a few teams have a positive goal differential. So we're at least keeping up with our scoring. That's helping us out a little bit, but I'd like some more clean sheets from us. And that's not all on the keeper. That's that's very much on our defensive unit and who we are as a team. So we'll have to wait and see.
I'd like us to take more shots. I feel like we're trying to like create fancy. I feel like we're getting too fancy in the box, where it's like, if you got an opening, just go for it. I mean, the Tampa Louisville game, like a lot of the shots that they were taking were like outside the 18, where it's like, I've got an opening, you know, I'm just going to take it. And they worked out. Whereas I feel like
there's so many goals in that game.
Yeah, but I feel like we get in the box and we try to pass it too much. We try to chip it in just right, and by that point we don't have the numbers.
Yeah, that's good product placement, Dylan.
Nice. Yeah, at that point, like their defense is set up and they're able to shut us down. Like I wish we would just let more shots fly.
Yeah. And one of my little nitpicky things is maybe that we cross the ball in too much. We just kind of like cross and pray. You know what I mean? And sometimes it works out. Don't get me wrong. And I know that's a legitimate tactic and that's kind of our identity. But, you know, like you said, Jess, maybe when you get the ball at your feet and you're straight on with the goal or within the goal box, sometimes just don't think, just shoot.
Yeah.
Just shoot the ball. Don't think about it. Just let it rip. You know? It's like that, which was that Oakland when we watch Firmino get the ball and he had like a clear shot on goal and he hesitated and looked around to see who else was around, almost like he was wanting to pass it off. And we were all just like,
just shoot the ball.
And he shot, and it hit the post. It was so close to going in, but I will always believe if he had shot the moment he got the ball instead of trying to figure out like who else is around to pass it to, which I appreciate that. If you feel like you might have somebody in a better position, for sure. I don't think anybody was in a better position than he was, though. He had like straight, clear line right at that goal. And I think if he hadn't hesitated and given him a little bit of time, that would have been his. But, you know, that's also, I think we see a lot of that. Again, I know we've like joked about Terry Boss, but I do feel like a lot of our players from the Terry Boss era, they're the ones we're still seeing hesitate a bit, because that was kind of like the MO, right? Whenever he was in charge, people would not shoot unless it was a 1,000,000% chance they were going to score. It was like some weird thing that he told them all, I guess. Maybe not, but it seemed that way because everybody refused to shoot unless it was an absolute certainty that they were going to score. So, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But I do feel like we're doing better overall with our productivity.
Yeah.
You know, Brodilio in the mix has been huge. I think that he's been such a game changer since coming back. And the way him and Blaine cook together, it's like they have, you know, a telepathic link or something. Like the little like tiki-taka saucy moves that they've been doing. Oh my gosh, that stuff is fun. That's when you know players are having fun. Is whenever they're doing that stuff together on the field, because you know that's not overthinking. That's trust. That's intuition. That's knowing like this teammate knows my play style. They've got my back on the field. They know what I want to do with this. And that's so cool when you see teammates have that type of link up, because it's so pure. It is indicative of what we all love about sports and soccer specifically is just seeing that passion translate on the field in those types of ways. It's truly awesome watching them cook together. Like even when we don't get a goal out of it, it's just cool that they do the things they're doing, and you're like, all right, I see you. That could have worked out really well, you know. And I appreciate you trying that, because you love that adventurous nature whenever you're a fan of a team, you know, because it's gonna work out in some way, you know. Yeah, this is. I think we're on a good track. To sum it all up, I think we're all feeling good. Thumbs up all around.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a lock. We got this. We're rolling hot. If anything, we know September 5th against Jacksonville, we will win, because Jacksonville has just decided that they're not going to play soccer this year. Have you guys seen that? They have 8 points.
Oh my gosh.
They have 8 points.
A negative 28 differential.
Negative 28 goal differential and 8 points on the season.
Who did they get points against?
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
It was their most recent win.
And then, man, how far back do you have to scroll to figure out the other
ones?
Right?
They tied Brooklyn. They let's see.
And then you have to sift through like, San Antonio. They had like a 4-4 draw.
Hey, don't let them get hot.
They tied Brooklyn, beat Pittsburgh, tied Loudoun. That's
Yeah.
5 points right there.
Jeez. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to dunk on Jacksonville and their fans, but
They have fans.
Well, some would say
A ceiling fan?
after we
They
knocked
probably
them
have
out of
ceiling
the
fans.
championship. Yeah, right. That's about all. All right. So good on that. Let's talk I don't know, let's talk some women's team. Because we are approaching that
Home
season.
opener.
It's oh my gosh, because it's the 3rd. So we got the
12
UK
days.
match on the 8th. So if you want like a early sneak peek on the 8th at the Bell, I'm pretty sure it's free. It's at 5:00. But they're playing UK women's soccer, which is cool. I really like that we've been doing that every year, especially since it's usually the one that we can actually go watch, which is really neat. But then, yeah, like the 12th, we're already back into it for our weird abbreviated season that goes through December.
It's on the 15th, but that's
15th.
it's
Sorry.
the 3rd. That's 12 days.
Yes, that's what I heard you say. It's 12 days. My bad. My brain was doing too many things at once. But
That
yeah,
would mean
I'm
the game
psyched
would be
for that.
today if it was the 3rd, Tyler.
Huh? I said the 12th.
Oh, I thought you said the 3rd.
Now you're messing up. Dylan. It's contagious. Everybody's getting it. But hey, like before we go into this, like we've made some moves, right? Hannah Shart's no longer with the club.
Sad.
Is that really a surprise?
No,
really.
but I'm still
But
sad.
it's a bummer.
It's
a bummer though.
It is a big bummer.
Yeah, I'm honestly though, I'm happy for her because she deserves to be a starter.
Yeah.
She should not hang around with this team if she's not going to be a starter because she
Absolutely.
is starter caliber. And I think that we've said this before. I think it was just a matter of coaching preference. For some reason, Mac was, you're my starter. Kosuke, no. And that's okay. Coaches are allowed to make those decisions, and it did work out. You can't really say it was wrong because at the end of the day, the defenders, Kosuke brought in, they helped seal up that championship. But, I still think Hannah would have been just as integral if she had been out there. And so I think that, in this situation, it's the best for all involved because what I would not want is her to hang around and waste her time here and us just constantly be like, man, where's Hannah? Because at the end of the day, that also is kind of a negative little, pot we're brewing, right? Because then you have your starters out there that feel less valued every time us fans are like, where's Hannah Sharts? So I think now we can kind of step back and really go all in on the players that are going to be starters and be like, yep, that's them. Cool. Let's support them and kind of go on about our business. So but it looks like Hannah's in Europe, Italy, right? Is where we saw her last. So good for her. We'll miss her for sure. Nicole Vernis is on loan with Fort Lauderdale. So Fort Lauderdale is now just acquiring all of the LSC players and trying to build something new and unique. So she's not permanently gone, but she is out in Fort Lauderdale for now, which again, she wasn't getting an immense amount of minutes. So, got to go somewhere where you're going to get minutes too. And it's important if we plan to bring her back that she does get those reps in and continue to grow. So we definitely miss them, be rooting them on. Just not when Fort Lauderdale plays us. Sorry, Shay. Sorry, Nicole. When Fort Lauderdale's playing us, we're not rooting on Fort Lauderdale. But we did get a player out of the mix. Would you ever think that you would hear or read the phrase Juventus to Lexington? Juventus to Lexington. It's a wild statement. It's 2021, and I'm like, hey guys, Juventus to Lexington. We're gonna get a transfer from Juventus. You'd be like, what are you on, dude? What are you talking about? We're playing at Georgetown College. But it's cool. It's exciting because we've acquired a midfielder, and this is not a loan. This is a permanent acquisition. So we've got Ali Perry, midfielder that's coming to us from Juventus. She had, looks like 6 appearances for the squad. Before that, though, super awesome collegiate career. Mississippi State, right? 80 appearances, 58 starts, 21 goals, 18 assists. I think she was one of the finalists for the Mac Herman, or at least somebody that was talked about in contention for it. And, when you look at this, yes, she didn't get that many games with Juventus, but she wasn't with them that long. Like it was basically like right out of college, she goes to Juventus last year, and now she's coming to us. So that kind of speaks volumes, though, when you have European clubs with those types of names pulling a player fresh out of college and saying, we want them. I think that alone speaks volumes. And then you look at her collegiate record, which is super impressive. I think this is a big get for us.
I do too.
I think that it really is. Now, I feel like Taylor Almer, that's kind of like, that's her spot, right? She's captain. She's one of our central midfielders. She kind of holds it down. You start looking at who has been paired with Taylor. It's been a little bit of a revolving door. It's never really settled and been like, that is the one person that's always going to be there next to Taylor. So you start wondering, okay, like maybe is this what they're thinking? Maybe it's going to be Allie, and they're going to kind of position her to be that other like permanent starter next to her. Is she going to play more of like a rotational role? It's kind of hard to say, but it's definitely for certain that we've got a really talented player that we've brought into our women's team to already bolster our super talented team that we managed to bring back. This feels like a really good pickup.
Yeah, I thought of her as like instant starter pairing with Taylor.
Yeah. It feels that way.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think her ceiling is really, really high. And like you alluded to, her college career is really impressive if you go and look back. And yeah, don't mistake her lack of minutes at Juventus for like lack of skill or by any means.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's true. And I guess like maybe I'm being presumptuous by saying like she would be a central midfielder, because you never know. Could be somebody they kick out wide, because we do have Katie Murray and Mac Midgley that have also joined us for the midfield too. So, there are worlds where she could be any of those places. I definitely think that she will be somebody that will at least be in somebody's mind for a starting position whenever the actual ball starts rolling on the field. I think it's a great get for us. That's for sure.
Also, fun fact, if you ignore the year, we're birthday twins.
Yeah. Look at you guys.
I know.
Look at you guys.
So,
yeah.
Extra awesome, because we share a birthday.
Yes. That's it. That now it's destiny. Destiny is all, and now we're going to win another championship.
Yep.
Because
exactly.
Allie shares a birthday with Jess, and we're good.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yep. You just have to give up all your birthday gifts, so that way she gets more birthday gifts that fire her up to play even better. No? You're not willing to do this for us, Jessica? You're not willing to do this for the fan base? Okay.
Fake fan.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Whoa. Confirmed.
Exposed.
Confirmed on the podcast. Wow.
Now everybody knows.
This is revealing.
No, I won't cut this out of the episode either.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, that is a cool fun fact. That is neat. Yeah, I think now that we're on the
totally derail that.
No, that's half the time we derail things. Like, come on, that's just what happens.
On the rails?
Never truly, never with any type of certainty. That's for sure. I think, looking at this women's team though, like everybody we have on the roster at this point, I feel a championship. Let's do this. Like let's freaking go. Let's seal up another one. Let's be the only team that's just completely overtaken 2026. And the men still have a chance too. Who knows? Maybe it truly is the year of the horse. Maybe we're gonna win all the trophies in 2026.
Let's go.
And then go on an 80-year drought.
Her birthday gifts in order for the year of the horse to be complete.
Okay. In that case, if championships all around,
we have to use your floorboards in your house to make a LSC Trojan horse. Fill it full of gifts and wheel it out onto the field and open it and gifts pour out. And then, yeah, that's what we need to do. Okay, but like, why hasn't anybody with LSC done a cool like video or meme with a Trojan horse?
True.
Like, but like an Odyssey-esque thing, like missed opportunity. Somebody listening is going to do it now. Do it. You don't even have to credit me. You might have to credit Christopher Nolan because he'll sue you. But not me. Can't afford a lawyer. I'm a school librarian. have Austin representing me. Who do you work for? KET. Like, I don't want to mess with KET. They know what they're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. All right. So games coming up. Okay. Right. Yeah, we got some matches in the mix.
This Saturday?
8th. Yeah, this Saturday for the men, and then the 8th for the women at the Bell for just like a preseason look, right? Which is always fun. And then the 15th is our opener for the women, which I'm psyched. Yeah, oh my gosh.
Excited.
Through the roof about this. What is Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. We did have to talk about some kids, didn't we?
Speaking of championships.
Yeah, speaking of championships and horses and LSC and things. Yeah, no. We did want to talk a little bit about that, right? The Railbirds, the supporters group for the team, for the club, they've got a kit that is out, right?
Check it out.
And it's green.
It's green. It's reminiscent of like one of the early designs where there was kind of like one of those. It reminds me of like the green geometric things that you'd see in the 90s on computers.
Oh, yeah. The
you know what I'm saying?
Kind of things.
Kind of, but it was like very much like straight lines. But they had like an early design of a horse that was that. So I think that whenever they had the kit made, they used that as the inspiration, which is pretty cool. So if you remember the Railbirds or you just want to support the Railbirds, you can get one of those made. I think they were like, $45.
40? Yeah.
Yeah. And then you can get them personalized too. And I don't think that was any extra charge. If I was reading that right, I asked John with the Railbirds, and I think he said that that's not an extra charge to get name and number on those things. So that's a nice, cool, affordable option for a kit. If you want to have something that's LSC related, that is linked to our supporters group that's been around since the inception of the club, I think that that's kind of like a neat option that fans could have. And of course, like if you do get the kit, you can always join the Railbirds too. It's like $10. Yeah. And like you can do as much or as little as you want to. It's not like just because you sign up, they're going to be like, guess what? You're drumming today. Like they won't bother you. They'll ask you if you want to and stuff. And of course you can be a part of all those cool things like making tifos and drumming or doing any of the number of things that they've got going on. Or you could just support them, be a part of that. Say you're a Railbird, be available to get cool merch and meet cool people. I think that's kind of like the real win of it, is being able to interact with other fans that are really passionate about the club. So whether you do or don't get the kit, check out being a member of the Railbirds. Do it. Do it. All right. And then if you were looking for a less affordable option for a kit, a much less affordable option, yet they know what they were doing, right? They knew they would get us sickos. They knew it.
Yeah.
They have pre-orders out for the kit that the women wore in the championship match, which is the men's secondary or away kit. It was brought out as like a third kit for the women and ended up kind of taking over a little bit. It's the white kit with the green diamonds. Everybody probably knows it by now.
The silks.
You can get a pre-order. Yes, the silks. You can get a pre-order in for those kits. It'll have the star on the crest.
Yep.
Heck yes. You can also, for an extra $5, get the patch that has like Super League champs on the sleeve, which is really, really cool. And then if you wanted to go the extra mile, you could always get it personalized. Now, if you don't get the extra patch and personalization, what are we looking at? Was it $105?
Yeah.
105 just for the kit with the
Oh,
star, right?
and it goes up to 4XL.
Which is awesome. Which is
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which with some of these Hummels, that's more like a 3XL, honestly. But it's great that we're being more inclusive with our sizing, especially for
Yeah,
our kids.
totally.
That is phenomenal. I know so many people that are happy that we've been better about sizing up things. So it's like 105 for the base, right? 110 if you want to get that special patch on the
Mm-hmm.
sleeve saying we're Super League champs, which let's be honest, like I have to have the kit we won in with the star and the patch saying we won because I'm like that. I'm kind of a
Yep.
sicko and I need that memorabilia that's going to help me remember and relive those glory days, right? But man, it's
Same.
steep.
It
It's
is.
steep. Like
But the season ticket holder discount
helps.
applies.
It helps, which is nice. Yeah, because at first I know we were joking about how they dropped this. So like right after, like a lot of us got those $20 vouchers, and the day after the $20 vouchers expired, they were like, "Want to pre-order a kit?" I was like, "Come on, now, come on, what are we doing?" But at least if you're a season ticket member, you do get your discount. That still applies. 105 for a kit is tough, or
It is.
110,
Yeah.
but I'm justifying it because it's a piece of history. So I'm trying to
True.
spin it that way. Now, the one thing we're kind of waiting on is hearing what the deal is for everybody who bought that kit beforehand. So anybody who bought that beforehand, there's been no communication that I've heard yet about how do we get a star on that? How do we get a patch on that? Because it is kind of a bummer if you already purchased those kits and you're going to be walking around with the kit that's missing the star and missing the patch. And why would you buy a second version of it unless you're a freakazoid like us? But I
Yeah.
digress, right? That's the one thing that I'm hoping that they give us a little bit of communication about. And I hope it's good communication.
Honestly, though, I know this sounds terrible, but I don't expect they'll be able to.
Yeah. I
Because
don't really think so
one,
either.
they're already labeling the kits as special edition.
Yep.
And I don't think they'll be able to get the
They're making this like a whole
yeah.
new SKU.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't think they'll be able to get the stars and the patches. And they've already
I
the
think
way they label it, it also has like the USL patch on the left hand
Mm-hmm.
side. So
I believe they're rolling this out as the kit for this season rather than like the kit for both the men and the women where you can like just add the badge on, which is like
Right.
we're saying very unfortunate. And then I think it's
Mm-hmm.
also unfortunate to reuse the same kit again too, but that's a different conversation. And I know we're gonna get a new one. I know that they teased in the comments that we're gonna get like a new kit as
Mm-hmm.
well. But it does suck for the championship winning team to not like get their own special jersey and to have just this one reused, and then to add on to the fact that like we're saying it's a whole new product and they're selling it. It feels like a money grab in a way.
it's
I'm a
it
Yeah.
sucker though,
yeah.
because we're sickos, like Tyler said.
It does
So
make because they are teasing new kits though, it does make me wonder if because they didn't want to reveal the new kits yet, that they use this in their media day stuff. So like there is probably a chance that they might use them in this next season, but I don't know. I feel like there might be something in the background in the works
Yeah. And
that will make us that hopefully we won't be disappointed. But and because that was my initial thought too, is like, oh, these are just we're reusing these again. Like I had similar thoughts, but after them releasing it as a limited edition and seeing all the media day stuff, I think it was to also, one, celebrate the championship and what the women accomplished, but also getting people hyped up about this limited edition kit.
Yeah. And with us having essentially a 4-month season, my problem isn't necessarily with us like kind of carrying at least one of the kits forward, because I can see the logistical problems of saying these are all brand new home and away kits for this season when we're playing from August to December, and then that's it and it's done for. Versus if we were moving into a completely new season. So I don't necessarily have such an issue with if we decide to use the silks for this abbreviated season. I do think I agree. We need to have like at least one. This is commemorative of this being a championship team, especially because we kept so many of the girls. Like we kept so many of them from that team. And it should be like Jess's idea that she pitched a few episodes ago, right? Like about like the flowers. Yeah, yeah.
Or
I think that would
roses,
be really
whatever flowers, you know.
Right.
Like, yeah, kind of draping. But then in that case, in that similar vein though, of like, would that be waste? I don't think it would be wasted, but like if they're like, well, maybe we'll wait on that until the longer season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But at the same time, like, regardless, if you get 2 new kits for this shorter season and then 2 new kits for the next season after that, that's more people buying kits.
Mm-hmm. You would hope. Yeah.
Maybe.
I think so.
Like,
yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe they will do all new ones for the fall and then next year. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we make like all new kits for this season, considering how many like different products we already make, and you know,
it's possible. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems so up in the air right now. I definitely though. Yeah. I think that this might, I don't know, raise some good questions though for the club though for the future, because you know there are people that are going to say whatever, I'm getting it because it's a commemorative item, but I do think the club does have to take a step back and be like, what do we do about all these fans who spent money on this exact kit to support the team in, but now we're going to try and sell them that same kit with a star and a patch and be like, well, this is limited edition. You can only get it. Because, I mean, if I had already bought that kit, I would struggle with spending an extra $110 on getting it again. You know, maybe I would, and I would just decide to like hang it up, you know, put it in like a cool frame or something.
Yeah, autographs.
With stuff with like autographs, you know, so that's something cool to do that. But not everybody's a super collector that's going to do that type of thing. You know, we do have a lot of fans that are just regular fans, right? That just enjoy games, but aren't necessarily going to go and be like, oh, yeah, I got to have like an exact duplicate of this kit minus the star and the patch. So
right.
I think there's a lesson to be learned on how to handle this if it happens again in the future, to make it to where maybe fewer fans feel, I don't know, like they were cheated's the wrong word. I don't want to say cheated, but like, you know what I mean? They're being passed up for an opportunity just because they were supporting the team and buying the kit in the first place. So that's one negative that I have to say about this. Otherwise, I do think it's cool that fans have the opportunity to have the patch, the star, all that stuff. I'm all about it. I've been dying to get a hold of merchandise, and especially a kit with the star, and them allowing us to get the patch as well, I think is even cooler. So I'm excited for that aspect of it at the very least. So I'm glad that they're doing that. I need to see what this other kit is though too. And I hope that I don't end up no, I'm not going to say it. That's selfish. I'll say I am going to say it. I hope that it's not as amazing because I don't want to have to buy it again and then go bankrupt. I'm running out of money. But that's okay. I'll just ask Jess for it for Christmas. Why are you laughing? Well, you weren't going to give me something for Christmas, Jess. What?
Well, just put it on Jess's like birthday list, because then she has to sacrifice her birthday gifts. So yeah.
Yeah, but like then you can't just like take it, because then you'll bring like bad mojo our way, dude.
I didn't say I was taking it.
It's like Odysseus yelling at Poseidon. Yeah.
You were taking it. You wanted it. I paid for my own. You were the one who said you couldn't pay for theirs.
Oh man. All right. Well, we'll see what kits await us. LSC has already teased that there will be another kit. They accidentally said it would be green, and then they edited the comment, and it never said green again. But we can assume there's going to be some green because they definitely have been staying true to green for the women's team. So
That's true.
I don't know. We'll see what's up. We'll see what's up in the future. But until then, looks like people have some decisions to make. Nice $45 Railbird kit or a $1.2 billion commemorative kit for the women's team. But you know how it is. We're powered by her. We're going to drop that money. My kids might just have to eat Spam and ramen noodles for a couple weeks. No big deal.
They won't go to college.
Yeah,
it's okay.
That's not good. Who needs college anyway? Then you just have student loan people coming after you because you tried to do the right thing.
It's true.
It is true. Yes, some millennials did get screwed over. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm not going to even get into all that. Anyway, games coming up. We already told you the dates. We told you the times. We told you to come out. We told you to support. You got to do all the above because, yeah, this women's season is going to go real fast. It's going to go really fast. It's going to be a blur. Men's season wrapping up. I know I said 13 games. 13 isn't truly a lot. Whenever life starts life, and it's going to sneak up on us before we know it. So make sure you get out and support these teams as much as you can, when life allows it, and all that good stuff. Right?
Even when it doesn't allow it, come anyways.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Just come anyways.
Do it.
Just do it no matter what. Right. All right. Anything I forgot? Because I always forget something. No? Oh, nothing? Okay. Well, then you know what it is. Come on, you greens.